Hi, grade 5. So today's lesson was comparing with adverbs. We know that an adverb can compare two or more actions, and this is similar to the lesson that we covered last term comparing with adjectives. But we know the difference between an adverb and an adjective. An adverb tells us more about a verb, right? But an adjective tells us more about a noun. So just like adjectives, we add er to most short adverbs when we are comparing two actions. For example, fast, faster, fast, fastest. We also add es to most short adverbs to compare more than two actions. So if we are comparing two, we add er, and if we are comparing three or more, we add est. Remember, this is only to most short adverbs like fast, slow, big, small. And notice here how all of these have one syllable. But for most adverbs, we use more to compare two actions if the adverb has two or more syllables. So remember how we discussed that many adverbs end in ly, so any adverb that ends in ly, we must use more or most. So here eager becomes more eagerly, and we use most to compare three or more actions if the adverb has two or more syllables. So eagerly becomes most eagerly, either more or most depending on how many actions are being compared in the sentence. And it's very important, guys, to note that just like with adjectives, you either add an ending to an adverb, so you either add er or est, or you use more or most. You can never combine the two together. So you can't say more faster or most fastest. Okay, let's do some of these examples together. Name the adverb form in parentheses that correctly completes each sentence. Here's the example. Carrie spoke longer or more longer than Earl. So remember here we can never use more and er, and in this case long is a short adverb, so we're just going to add er, so it should be longer. Number 1, the audience listened more carefully or most carefully to Carrie than to Earl. So here we are comparing two. Right, two actions. The audience listened more carefully to Carrie than to Earl. Number 2, Carrie spoke more skillfully or skillfulier than Earl did. So here, skillful is an adverb that we should use more. Skillfully, we should use more before skillfully because here we are first comparing two things, so we're comparing two actions, but we can never say skillfulier. Okay, this would be incorrect. The correct way would be more skillfully. Remember how we said if an adverb like skillfully, any adverb that ends in ly we should use more or most. Number 3, protecting wildlife is debated more often or more oftener than any other issue. Again, we can never use er and more in the same sentence, so more often is the correct answer. She presented her arguments more clearly or more clearer. The answer here would be more clearly. So here the adverb clearly, we should use more. Number 5, the audience thought she spoke more persuasively or most persuasively of all. The answer here would be most persuasively, and our clue is of all, so we must use most. Next, we're going to do the same thing. Choose the adverb form in parentheses that correctly completes each sentence. Number 6, the falcon hunts more skillfully than the hawk. Why more skillfully? Here we are comparing how the falcon hunts and how the hawk hunts. So 2. Number 7, of the falcon and the hawk, the falcon moves faster or fastest. Again, here we are comparing the falcon and the hawk's movement, so we should use faster. Number 8, the hawk most often or more often prefers the mouse to the snake. So again, 2, so it should be more often. Number 9, the falcon hunts more accurately or most accurately of all large birds. Here we should select most accurately because we have of all birds. Number 10, falcons may be more difficult or most difficult of all birds to train. Here we have of all birds as the clue, so it will be most difficult. Number 11. Here we're going to write the correct adverb form to complete each sentence. The cat played long than the mouse. The correct way to write the sentence would be to add er. The cat played longer than the mouse. Number 12. A hawk watched the mouse careful than the snake did. So careful here is not an adverb, right? It should be more carefully, right? To add it. So here this is an adjective, careful. In order for it to be an adverb, we must add ly, so more carefully, because we are comparing the hawk watching the mouse to the hawk watching to the snake watching the mouse. Number 13. The snake approached the mouse slow than the hawk did. So here, slow is not an adverb. Slow here, we must add ly for it to be an adverb. So it should be more slowly, because remember here, slow here describes how the snake is approaching the mouse. So he approached the mouse, or it approached the mouse slowly, and then we're going to add more because we are comparing two things. Of the hawk, the eagle, and the falcon flies the fast should be fastest. Number 15, hawks resemble falcons, close of all birds. Here, close will be closely. This is the adverb, and we're going to use the word most to compare because we have all birds.